What is going on, FA Nation? Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Playbook Preview Show. It is Friday, and as you can see, I am by myself. TGIF, Friday, all alone. We have 13 games to talk about, though. I'll do my best to break it down for you guys without Grande and his just amazing insights. You saw his screenshots in our Discord the other day, nearly taking down that $4.20 max. So I'll do my best to hold my own. Of course, we'll be live again here at 5 p.m. Eastern time, giving you all the latest news and updates to get you ready for this DraftKings main slate. I will go position by position. I will still give you guys a core lineup at the end of the show. And then, of course, I will finish that lineup and post it in our Discord for you all to get ready for this DraftKings main slate. But as I said, with it being a solo show, probably going to be a bit quicker as I work my way through. I'll also even tell you that I haven't actually even looked at this slate yet. You're going to get my first reaction. You're going to get my first impression on these matchups, on these prices, on these players as we go through. First thing I'm noticing right away here is that Atlanta seemingly doesn't have a set starting pitcher on DraftKings yet, which means they have all of the pitchers here on DraftKings. I do know they made a roster move to call up one of their prospect pitchers from AAA. Let's see if he is listed as the probable starter for the Friday slate or not here. This is where Grande really comes into play. He's the one that generally has all of this stuff open, and I'm just the guy that moves the show along. Let's see, probable pitchers. That's what we're looking for, right? Let's see. I got nothing. I'll see if I can find the projected pitcher for tomorrow. But obviously, as it stands right now, DraftKings does not have that available. Let's see here. Let's go to ESPN. See if ESPN might actually have some useful information for once. MLB 20th, Atlanta. Let's see. MLB scoreboard. Do they have a pitcher set for this slate? Atlanta, Friday. Didier Fuentes. So they are starting the kid they're calling up. He's their number 10 organizational prospect. Let's see. Is he in the player pool? He is not in the player pool. We'll see, I guess, if he gets added to the player pool or not. And then we can kind of go from there. Regardless, though, looking at the pitching slate, Hunter Brown is your top price starting pitcher. He gets the Angels. We know about the Angels here. They strike out a lot. They hit a lot of home runs. We know Hunter Brown is an elite pitcher. Obviously coming off 12 strikeouts against Minnesota. And that last outing here, about as good as they come. I don't think you'll find many complaining if you want to spend up for Hunter Brown. Now, it is a 13-game slate, so we will be looking for some value to kind of pair it up. You also have Zach Wheeler in this matchup against the Mets. Last time, Zach Wheeler took the mound against Toronto. Looked great. 6 innings and earned 9 Ks. This matchup against the Mets this year, 6 innings to earn 9 Ks against them in that lone start. You can pretty much always go the Wheeler route if you want. You do have Max Fried. Now, I think this is the spot where I actually am going to find myself settling in. Baltimore versus left-handed pitching all season long has been absolutely downright dreadful. They have a .214 team batting average, a 25% strikeout rate, an 0.86 ISO. 0.86 against left-handed pitching. So you're getting Max Fried at $10,000. You're getting him at a $1,100 discount, $1,200 discount from Hunter Brown. You're getting him at an $800 discount from Zach Wheeler. For me, Max Fried should probably be the highest roster pitcher on this slate. I understand the Yankees and their offense have had some struggles lately. They just lost a series to the Angels, but Max Fried, for me, is going to be my number 1 starting pitcher. Mackenzie Gore, as great as he has been, I don't really want to challenge the Dodgers all that much, but you certainly can, knowing what his strikeout upside is here. Let's see. Joe Ryan versus Milwaukee at $9,500. Milwaukee did put up some runs on Jameson Taillon today, but obviously Joe Ryan is a pretty talented pitcher. He shut them out over 6 innings with 9 strikeouts in that first meeting between them. You have him at home. Nick Pivetta versus Kansas City. Kansas City's offense, again, Jack Caglione homered twice. First 2 homers of the season came today on the Thursday slate. So if he starts to get going, it obviously changes the dynamic of that offense. But they don't strike out. They don't really have great offensive numbers as a whole. I'd be okay with Pivetta, but the lack of strikeout upside sort of dampens that a little bit for me here. Jacob Mizorowski was supposed to pitch on Thursday. He was actually supposed to pitch on Wednesday. They got rained out. He didn't pitch Thursday. They went Freddie Peralta against the Cubs and instead pushed him to here. $9,000 in his second career start. He had a 5-inning no-hitter against St. Louis before rolling his ankle. Now, Minnesota is a team that obviously can go fairly lefty-heavy in their lineup if they choose to. They have Byron Buxton, obviously, at the top of their lineup, a lot of power. Only a 21% strikeout rate on the season here against right-handed pitching. But Jacob Mizorowski throws 103 miles an hour. That is not hyperbole. You can find his highlights while he was in AAA. He throws incredibly hard. He is a high strikeout guy. But Minnesota on the year is kind of a middling offense against right-handed pitching. 250 average, 150 ISO, 315 WOBA. Like good, not great, but not bad. So if he can't find the plate or the strikeout stuff isn't there, he could get hit. But he's also a guy that could go out there and strike out 10 batters, just given how nasty kind of his stuff is there. Jack Flaherty versus Tampa Bay, I'm probably out on that. Flaherty has a home run problem, lefty problem. Tampa Bay at home, we know they're going to throw a whole bunch of lefties out there. Hayden Birdsong gets Boston. Obviously, this is sort of the story of the weekend. With Boston having traded Rafael Devers to the Giants and now will face this Giants team. Hayden Birdsong's been really good. We thought he was the guy that was going to have a rotation spot to begin the season. That wasn't ended up being the case. Home start against a Boston lineup. Boston won that series against Seattle. They barely scored any runs. And in fact, they didn't really score any runs in that final game. I think they might have gotten shut out. Maybe they scored 1 run on the night that Walker Buehler got lit up. But their offense is not really doing much here. So I would put some stock into Hayden Birdsong. They sent down Christian Campbell today. Maybe that makes that lineup actually better because he was hitting like 150 for the last month and a half. I think Wellier Abreu is coming back in their lineup. You would assume that Roman Anthony now moves to DH and Wellier Abreu resumes right field. So you do add a lefty power bat into that lineup. But Wellier Abreu was slumping before he got hurt. So I'd be fine using Birdsong here in this spot at $8,000. Not going to test Shane Baz. Not going to test Yusei Kikuchi even in his home ballpark against left-handed pitching currently on the season. The Houston Astros, number 1 in WOBA, number 1 in ISO by a lot. They have a 226 team ISO against left-handed pitching. The Dodgers are second at 199. That's almost a 30-point gap between first and second. That's how well Houston right now is hitting left-handed pitching. And their second in batting average at 271. And an 18.7% strikeout rate is tied for second fewest in baseball. So they don't strike out, and they hit for an incredible amount of power here. I am out on Yusei Kikuchi. I'm out on Shane Baz. Brady Singer versus St. Louis. I'd rather probably not. I do like him that he's better on the road. Actually, I lied. That's surprising. I thought he was better on the road for a little bit here, but apparently better home numbers. I don't think I go there. I don't think I'm going to go there against the Cardinals. That offense, I think they're pretty good. They have a lot of lefty bats they can put in there against Brady Singer with Donovan, Gorman, Burleson, Scott, Newbar. So I'm good on Singer. To play Zach Gallen against the Rockies or not, obviously Gallen has had his struggles. Pitching deep into games is great. 4 innings. Don't love the home runs there. Arizona's going to be a big favorite. He did lose to them earlier this year. 5 innings, 6 earned, 4 homers allowed. Gross. Tolley is back up. He's hitting for power. Hunter Goodman's hitting for power. Mickey Moniak's hitting for power. Ryan McMahon's hitting for power. And now they're back in Coors. I could see Gallen actually getting ownership, but I don't think I'm going to go there. I'm not going to pitch Kershaw. Tanner Bybee in Sacramento. No, thank you. I could get behind Hunter Dobbins. I don't really understand the $6,900 price tag. He's largely been pretty serviceable here. obviously a big pitcher's ballpark. Yes, obviously the Giants offense is now better with them having Rafael Devers, but he just went 6 shutout against the Yankees. He's pitched relatively well. He could be the guy on the chopping block here as well. Maybe there's some motivation. The team did suggest they're going to keep the newly acquired Kyle Harrison through July 4th, so he could work on some pitch repertoire stuff. But then a report came out that it's really just for control. If they keep him past the 4th of July, the Red Sox will gain an extra year of arbitration on him. But Hunter Dobbins could be the guy that loses his rotation spot when Kyle Harrison comes back if he doesn't pitch well here. So I don't mind the dart throw on Hunter Dobbins. Not going to go Payante against Cincinnati. Not going to do Davis Martin. I know the Yankees have struggled, but I can't trust Sugano here. Springs at home, no. I don't think Dobbins might be the cheapest I go. And Birdsong at 8K. That's not a lot of value here. I would probably. Well, where's Yuri Perez? Did I pass Yuri Perez here? Do they have a Miami starter on this? So they have junk, huh? Interesting. So ESPN shows Yuri Perez. They show Jansen junk here. I $5,700. Kind of interesting, I guess. If you want a dart throw, he's obviously really good against Washington. $5,700 is a good punt play. And then Didier Fuentes, depending on what his price tag is, I wouldn't necessarily mind him against Miami either. So I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens when we do come back here at 5 o'clock and take a look at it for us. Catcher position, obviously a lot of top-end talent up here. Ivan Herrera, Singer, Will Smith hit the walk-off home run on Wednesday. Hunter Goodman against Gallen. Again, I feel like I want to play some Rockies here against Zach Gallen. He's been really bad. So I would certainly give that a look. I'm good on Detroit against Shane Baz. He's been bad, especially at home. Drake Baldwin, if he's in the lineup, I'm good there. Augustin Ramirez, I'm good there as well. Narvaez probably hitting the middle of the lineup still against Birdsong at 36. Yanier Diaz, $3,600 against Kikuchi. Alejandro Kirk against Martin. Both of those guys are in really good spots. David Fry versus a lefty. Those are the big power numbers for him last year. Obviously, he has struggled and slumped and hasn't always been in the lineup. But if he's in the lineup against a lefty in Sacramento at Sutter Health Park, I would give David Fry a look at $3,400 for sure. Same thing with Carantini here. I'd give him a peek at $3,100. If Gabe Moreno's in the lineup, I'd probably go there as well. That is probably it. Kyle Teal. Yeah, I'd go Kyle Teal at $2,500 if he is in the lineup there as well. First base position. Always can play Ohtani with a dual positional eligibility. I'm not really afraid of lefty against Gomber with Naylor there. Matt Olson certainly at $5,300 can be played. Vladdy versus Davis Martin at 48. Soderstrom versus Bybee. Again, all of the A's in Cleveland are going to be valuable. This is probably another game that has like a 9.5 plus run total. So you can go there. Spencer Torkelson's hit well versus righties this year. Aranda, just sort of a staple core play for us almost every single slate when they're at home against a righty. He's still just $4,200. That feels pretty good. Let's see. Ben Rice, the guy who does surprisingly give up home runs despite being a big ground ball pitcher. So if Ben Rice is in the lineup at 39, you can do that. Christian Walker at 37 against Yusei Kikuchi. He's starting to come alive a little bit here. Nick Kurtz, another guy that we've been high on, $3,500. Price bump for Kurtz, but I like him against Bybee at 35. Mentioned Fry already. Tolia, as I've talked about, has come back and just hit the ball well. 3 homers in the 5 games since his recall. So if you want to go Tolia there, I'm good with it. Cole Keith, 31. CES at $2,900. Obviously, a lot of power in that bat. And that's probably it at first base. Second base position, Ketel Marte versus a lefty and Austin Gomber in Coors. Again, Arizona could also be a pretty chalky team. There's a lot of righties in this lineup that you would like against Gomber. Marte certainly in that mix. Same thing with Jazz here against Sugano. Altuve has been one of the higher roster players of the slate lately. We get him versus lefty at 47. Brendan Lau versus Flaherty. He keeps homering. $4,500. Good there. Let's see. Brendan Donovan, as I mentioned, $3,900 is a good spot for him, especially if he's still leading off. Tommy Edman will get the lefty matchup, which we like, but Mackenzie Gore's a tough matchup right now. Let's see. That may be it. Nolan Gorman, 31. Marcelo Meyer, I'd still play him. He homered again the other day in Seattle. $3,100 for him. And Dubon, another guy that has no power but is homering. So I'd go Dubon there at $2,800. And if David Hamilton's in the lineup, which could happen here without Christian Campbell, I think Hamilton at 26 could be something I could get behind. Another guy, I know the numbers lately haven't been great, but a lot of speed. If you can get on the base pass, a lot of speed. Third base position, you have Jose Ramirez versus lefty in Sutter Health. Really good spot for a one-off Ramirez play. You have Eugenio Suarez in Coors against a lefty at $5,300. A righty against Gomber, we could definitely get behind. Machado versus Lorenzen at 5K. I like. Obviously, the revenge game narrative here. I know our guy Grande, not a narrative guy, but endeavors against his old team. First time, $4,900. Could see him just planting one in the river. Or the ocean, I guess, McCovey Cove. Isaac Paredes, I don't know why he's only $4,400. This dude's been lethal. And Kikuchi again, lefty, giving up a lot of power. Camanero's got a lot of home run upside. Addison Barger, if he's hitting second again. I know you've heard us talk a lot about Addison Barger here. A lot of power. Davis Martin at 4K. I like that Barger spot. Ryan McMahon, another guy, 313, 1,100 OPS over the last 10 games with 4 homers. That's all on the road. Home splits this year, 291 over a 970 OPS and 7 homers. A really good spot. The Rockies did not get a Coors Field bump here. And Zach Gallen has not been good. Let me just quickly pull up the Zach Gallen numbers just to sort of give some context here. Gallen versus lefties, 425 slugging, 350 WOBA on the year. 1.2 homers per 9, but an xFIP of 5, so not great. Last 30 days, some bad numbers for him here as well. So could definitely get behind Gallen. McMahon versus Gallen at 39. Let's see. Can always go Vargas if you want. That might be it. Otto Kemp's down here. Brady House at 3K. Again, Kershaw hasn't really been, obviously, Kershaw of old. The other Max Muncy's here, $2,800. Probably the cheapest I go here. 13 game slate. Shortstop's obviously loaded. Ellie, Trey, Lindor, Witt, Nato, Abrams can play them all. Perdomo and Coors can play him. Jacob Wilson and Sutter Health at 5K can get there. Betts versus lefty and Gore 48. Pena is 46. He could play that. I would literally play everybody and up. Obviously, Nato has a tough matchup versus Brown, but probably don't get Gunnar lefty versus Fried. I'd pass there. But Bichette's fine for me. Let's see. Is that it? Ritter, if he's in the lineup at 33, I guess, just for the Coors Field play. Yeah, that's probably it. Ritter might be the cheapest I go there. Outfield. Obviously, again, a large slate, so can play a lot of these guys, all depending on your stacks. I do like Detroit in Tampa Bay here. They put up a big number against Andrew Heaney today. Riley Green versus Boz, Carpenter, Meadows, that whole crew there against Shane Boz, probably all in a good spot for us. You can always play Judge, can always play Ohtani. Acuna, Buxton homer twice on Thursday. I'm not shying away from any of these lefty matchups. Schwarber's obviously great. So if you want to go there, you can. Butler and Soderstrom get finally a righty matchup. They've had lefties lately, so you get them against a righty. Feels good. You can certainly play Rooker if you want. Lourdes at 46 gets the Coors Field price bump, but Gomber, being a left-handed pitcher, plays into his split side. Duran at 45. Again, I know Boston's offense is slumped, but this is a guy that was well over 5K for a period of time. So there's some potential turnaround for him. That's that. Frito's good. Chorio's down to 42. Josh Lowe's 42. Jordan Beck's 42. I'd play all that. Pages versus lefty again. I know Mackenzie Gore is good. Pages does hit lefty as well. Tyler Freeman's in really good. Gets Gallen at 41. Trent Grisham's kind of fallen off a bit, but has lefty power in the Yankee Stadium. Jesus Sanchez has power. He'll have Fuentes there. Jake Myers versus lefty at 4K and Yusei Kikuchi. They've been playing a lot of Will Benson lately. Mikey Moniak, 4K, Coors Field play. Roman Anthony down to $3,800 off to a really bad start. But we know it's just a matter of time before he figures it out. $3,800 for him. Grichuk gets Gomber at 38. You can do that if you want to. Parker Meadows is 38. Giancarlo Stanton, 37. I would play him. He's been really good. I like that price tag for Stanton. Luis Robert, Jasson Dominguez. Cam Smith's up to $3,500. Shout out Cam Smith. Finally, not just 3K, on his way to 4K after the way he's been playing lately. Can definitely get the Burleson at 34. Kevin Sheets is fine. Boday's in the lineup. He's fine. Stott's fine. Let's see. Biceps. Caglione, again, homer twice, both off a lefty. So take that for what it's worth. If he gets locked in, you could take Pavetta deep here at 3K. That might be it. Hilliard's $2,800. Play Dubon here. All right. Let's get a core going, and I'll put the full lineup in the Discord for you guys. Again, I appreciate you tuning in with me here. 13 game slate, breaking it down solo for you. So I know it's a quicker show, but do go position by position. You can get us in the Discord if you have any questions, and we'll do the full hour when we go live again at 5 p.m. Eastern time to get you ready for this 13 game DraftKings main slate. So I said Fried was definitely my number one. And then, again, there really wasn't a lot of good value here. I'm probably going to go Birdsong, honestly. So that's 4K a play. Kyle Teal, I said, was my punt catcher. Right. We might as well get Dubon just the way he's been playing lately. Kind of give us some more money to play around with here. I do want to get some cores. I just don't know where I want to get the cores exposure from, because I am obviously Team Aranda. Maybe we go Eugenio here, 53. Shortstop. Probably Pena, right? There wasn't really value. All right, Pena's 46. Get more Houston. 4,200. Might as well go Cam Smith. I know the prices are getting up there on him now, but 35. So that's 4,500 a play for two outfielders. I'll leave it there so we don't get the show taken down and banned. And then I'll fill in the final two outfielders for you guys in the Discord. So, but use your imagination. You know the games we're looking to target. Sutter Health with the Athletics matchup there. Obviously, I like Tampa Bay. I like Houston versus Kikuchi, and we like Coors Field. So there's some options for you guys, but about $4,600 per player. So you could go down, get a value play, and then spend up somewhere, or you can take a couple looks at some men in this area, maybe like an Altuve, Gurriel or something could make that work. I don't know. But again, we'll be live at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll see you then.